A woman who understands her emotions is not a woman controlled by them. She is not a victim to the shifting tides of her feelings, nor is she a slave to the whims of her heart. Instead, she is the master of her inner world, a commander of her emotional landscape. This is the difference between a woman who is tossed around like a leaf in the wind and a woman who stands firm in the storm. The world teaches women from a young age that their emotions are weaknesses, things to be suppressed, ignored, or pushed down. Society tells them that to be successful, to be respected, to be worthy, they must control their emotions. That if they feel too much, if they express too much, they will be seen as unstable, hysterical, irrational. But what the world fails to teach is that emotions are not a curse. They are power. They are energy, raw and unfiltered, waiting to be harnessed. To understand your emotions is not to be overwhelmed by them. It is not to let them dictate your every action or decision. It is to stand in the knowledge that your emotions are messengers, not rulers. They come to tell you something, to illuminate the depths of your soul, to guide you, to warn you, and to fuel you. But they are not the masters. You are. When a woman knows this, when she learns to listen to her emotions without being consumed by them, she unlocks a power that the world cannot understand. She becomes untouchable because she is no longer at the mercy of her moods, her fears, her insecurities, or her anger. She can feel deeply and still maintain control over her actions, her choices, her destiny. Most people are terrified of their emotions. They try to avoid them, to shut them down, to numb them with distractions, substances, or mindless busyness. But what happens when you try to suppress your emotions is that they only grow stronger, more intense, more destructive. The more you resist them, the more they control you, silently pulling at your strings, controlling your reactions, your relationships, your life. This is the path of chaos. The path of being a victim to your own emotional currents. But the woman who understands her emotions walks a different path. She is not afraid of what she feels. She does not run from the darkness, nor does she try to push the light away. She faces all of it with clarity, with courage, and with intention. When a woman truly understands her emotions, she understands that they are not her identity. She is not her anger, her sadness, her anxiety, or her joy. These are not labels that define who she is. They are transient experiences that pass through her, like clouds drifting across the sky. She is the sky. She is the vastness within which all emotions come and go. And in that vastness, she remains constant. She is rooted in the deeper knowing that she is more than her feelings. She is more than the thoughts that come and go. She is the stillness beneath it all. This is where true emotional mastery lies, in the ability to witness your emotions without becoming consumed by them. It's in the ability to feel fully, without letting the emotions take over and dictate your actions. It is the wisdom to know when to let your emotions flow and when to set them aside to think clearly. A woman who understands her emotions knows that they are her compass. She knows when her anger is telling her to stand up for herself, when her sadness is inviting her to process grief, when her joy is calling her to celebrate life, and when her fear is reminding her to be cautious. She listens without judgment. She doesn't repress or deny what she feels. Instead, she embraces the fullness of her emotional experience, knowing that every emotion, whether pleasant or painful, is a part of the human experience. And in doing so, she takes back the power. She stops allowing the world or others to dictate her emotional state. She refuses to give her power away to anyone, to any circumstance, or to any event outside of her control. Because she knows that her power lies within her ability to choose how she responds, not in what happens to her. The emotional landscape of a woman is vast, deep, and complex. It is a world in which vulnerability and strength exist side by side, where tenderness and fire can coexist within the same soul. But The true strength lies not in repressing or controlling those emotions, but in learning to flow with them, to ride the waves without being crushed by them. There will always be moments when life tests you, when it throws you into the storm of intense emotion. You will experience heartbreak, loss, betrayal, and fear. But a woman who understands her emotions knows that these moments do not define her. She knows that emotions are simply passing storms, not permanent states of being. She knows that even in the deepest pain, there is wisdom to be found, and she is willing to face the storm, to experience the pain, because she knows that it will pass. She knows that on the other side there is growth, there is strength, and there is peace. The woman who understands her emotions is not afraid of what lies ahead, because she knows that no matter what happens, she can navigate it. She can feel deeply and still stay grounded. She can experience heartbreak and still stand tall. She can be angry, but she does not act out of that anger. She can feel fear, but she does not let it paralyze her. She allows her emotions to guide her, not control her. And in this understanding, she is free. Free to feel, free to live, free to love, free to be. When you understand your emotions, you become the master of your inner world. You are no longer a prisoner to your own feelings. You are no longer controlled by the ups and downs of life. Instead, you are the one who decides how you show up in the world, how you engage with your emotions, and how you use them to fuel your purpose. The power of a woman who understands her emotions is unstoppable, because she no longer runs from herself. She embraces all of it, the light and the dark, the joy and the sorrow, the love and the pain. She understands that her emotions are not her weakness. They are her strength. They are the keys to her growth, her evolution, and her ultimate freedom. So when the next wave of emotion comes, when the anger or the sadness, the joy or the fear rises within you, don't run from it, don't repress it. Allow yourself to feel, to understand, and to learn from it. But always remember that you are not your emotions. You are the one who chooses how to respond. You are the one who decides what to do with them. And in that choice, you find your true power. A woman who understands her emotions is never controlled by them. She is the one in control. And that is the power that will change your life. When you understand your emotions, you begin to unravel the mysteries of your inner world. You no longer see emotions as a chaotic force to be tamed, but as a language, a way of communication between your soul and your mind. Each emotion that arises within you carries a message, an insight into who you are, what you value, what you fear, and what you desire. Emotions are not enemies to be fought, but teachers to be listened to. And here lies the true freedom. Freedom from the need to hide, suppress, or escape your emotional reality. When you stop running from your feelings, you stop living in reaction. Instead of being driven by external events or the opinions of others, you are able to create your own responses. This is where power is born. A woman who understands her emotions no longer allows the world to control her because she has mastered the most important thing in her life, herself. Think about the times when you've allowed your emotions to dictate your decisions. Think of how, in moments of fear, you've backed down from what you truly wanted. Or when anger caused you to say things you didn't mean, words that could not be unsaid. But now imagine a different way. Imagine walking through life, not constantly fighting against yourself, but engaging with your emotions in a healthy, productive way. Imagine no longer being afraid of your own heart. Imagine being free to feel whatever you need to feel without it ever taking control of your actions again. This freedom doesn't come overnight. It is earned through practice, through self-awareness, and through the courage to face the most difficult emotions without flinching. It is built upon the foundation of self-compassion, understanding that every emotion is valid, but not every emotion needs to lead to an immediate reaction. You will make mistakes. You will slip into old patterns. You may still sometimes allow fear or anger to dictate your actions, but the difference is that you will know how to come back to yourself. You will know how to recalibrate, how to reconnect with your inner power, and how to regain control over your emotions, not through repression, but through understanding. And in those moments of emotional turbulence, when the winds of life seem to be pulling you in all directions, you will be anchored. You will know that you are not your emotions. You are the one who experiences them, who feels them, and who chooses how to respond. This is the foundation of emotional mastery, recognizing that your emotions are a natural part of you, but they do not define you. The world will continue to try and shape you, mold you into something you're not. It will try to tell you how to feel, how to act, how to behave, especially as a woman. But a woman who understands her emotions knows that she cannot be defined by the expectations of others. She cannot be broken by societal standards or by the opinions of the masses. She has learned to trust herself, to trust her inner compass, and to honor the wisdom of her emotions, no matter how raw or difficult they may seem. There will always be moments when life challenges you, when you face disappointment, loss, or moments of intense grief. But the woman who knows her emotions also knows that these experiences do not define her. They are part of her, but they are not her entirety. She is the entire spectrum of human experience: joy, sorrow, anger, love, fear, and everything in between. And she knows that by embracing all of it, she becomes whole. She becomes unstoppable. What if you stopped apologizing for feeling what you feel? What if you stopped judging yourself for being human? What if you allowed yourself to feel everything you need to feel, and then, in that space of awareness, made the conscious choice to act from a place of clarity rather than reaction? When you can do this, when you can truly stand in the midst of your emotions and still remain the master of your actions, you become untouchable. You become powerful beyond measure. Because at that moment, nothing can move you from your truth. No external event can take your peace. No storm of emotion can overwhelm you. You will know that you are greater than any fleeting feeling. A woman who understands her emotions knows that there is no power greater than self-awareness. There is no greater gift than the ability to observe your feelings without letting them define your actions. There is no greater freedom than the freedom to feel fully, to experience the full range of human emotion, and still have the wisdom to guide your responses. You will no longer be a prisoner to your emotional state. You will no longer feel at the mercy of your own heart. You will feel deeply, but you will respond with clarity. Your emotions will become tools, not shackles. They will serve you, guide you, and empower you. And in this understanding, you will find the most profound form of freedom, the freedom to live authentically, to express your truth, to choose your path, and to step into your fullest potential. A woman who understands her emotions has discovered the secret of emotional sovereignty. She knows that true strength is not in suppressing her emotions, but in mastering them, not through force or control, but through understanding. This is the true power that lies within every woman, the power to feel deeply and yet remain unshaken. So stand firm and allow yourself to feel all that you need to feel. Do not shy away from your emotions. Embrace them, understand them. And in that understanding, you will find the strength to rise above them. You will never again be controlled by your emotions. You will be the one who guides your heart, your mind, and your actions with wisdom, clarity, and unshakable confidence. This is the freedom that comes with emotional mastery. The ability to live your life fully, to feel everything deeply, and yet remain the master of your actions. And in this freedom, you will find your true power. As you continue on this journey of emotional mastery, you begin to realize that the greatest freedom lies in your ability to choose how you respond to life's challenges. Life is not a series of events that happen to you. It is a canvas on which you paint your response. And with every brush stroke, you become more skilled, more intentional, and more aligned with the truth of who you are. Your emotions will continue to rise, as they always have. But now, when they rise, you will see them for what they are, not threats, not burdens you must carry. Instead, you will see them as teachers, guides, and messengers. Each emotion is an invitation to learn more about yourself, to understand deeper layers of your psyche, to access the wisdom that lies beneath the surface. Whether it's the fire of anger, the depths of sadness, or the lightness of joy, each emotion is a gift, a pathway to greater self-awareness. And when you start to embrace your emotions as teachers, you free yourself from the tyranny of fear. You no longer fear what you feel because you understand that you are more than your feelings. You are the one who feels them. You are the one who can choose to move through them. And the moment you realize this, the moment you step into the full sovereignty of your emotional landscape, you reclaim your power. The power of a woman who understands her emotions is not in her ability to suppress, avoid, or reject what she feels. It is in her ability to move through her emotions without being controlled by them, to feel them deeply, to let them flow through her, and yet remain grounded in her essence. She knows that emotions are transient, like waves in the ocean, rising and falling with the tides. But she is the ocean. The waves may come, but they do not define her. She's vast, eternal, and unshakable in her core. This is the true nature of emotional strength, the strength to sit with your emotions, to honor them, to allow them to be felt fully, and yet not to be ruled by them. The woman who understands this strength creates a life of balance, where her emotions are integrated into her being, where they fuel her creativity, her passion, and her purpose. They are not burdens to carry, but tools to build her life with. She uses her emotions to propel her forward, not to pull her back. As you move through life, learning to understand your emotions rather than resist them, you will find that you become more present, you become more alive, you become more attuned to the world around you and more deeply connected to the people in your life. You will no longer hold back, no longer hide or suppress. Instead, you will express your truth boldly, unapologetically, with clarity and compassion. You will speak from the heart, not from a place of reaction, but from a place of profound understanding and wisdom. And with this understanding comes profound peace. The peace that comes from knowing you are the master of your emotional world, that you do not need to be at war with yourself, that you do not need to push away what you feel. You are free to feel it, to understand it, and to decide how it will shape your actions. In that freedom, you find an inner calm, a tranquility that nothing in the external world can disturb. The noise of the world may rage on, but your center remains undisturbed. True mastery of your emotions also leads to resilience. Life will continue to throw challenges your way, and there will be moments when you feel overwhelmed, when the weight of your emotions feels heavy. But when you have learned to sit with them without letting them dictate your actions, you will become unbreakable. You will be able to weather the storms of life with grace and strength, knowing that you have the capacity to face whatever comes your way because you have learned to trust yourself. There will be moments when life tests you, moments when you feel hurt, betrayed, or lost. But a woman who understands her emotions will rise above those feelings. She will feel them, process them, and then let them go. She will not hold on to anger, resentment, or regret. She will not let those feelings define her. Instead, she will use them as stepping stones to her own growth. She will move forward not because she is unaffected, but because she is in control of her emotional world. This emotional mastery also empowers your relationships. When you understand your own emotions, you are better able to understand and empathize with the emotions of others. You no longer project your own unresolved feelings onto those around you. You can communicate openly, with honesty and compassion, without letting emotional turmoil cloud your judgment. You become a pillar of emotional stability, a calm presence that others can rely on. Your relationships become deeper, more authentic, and more fulfilling, because you are not afraid to show up as your true self, vulnerable and strong, open and grounded. And this is how the woman who understands her emotions begins to shape the world around her. She does not shape it by fighting, by forcing her will onto others. She shapes it by living authentically, by embodying her truth, and by creating space for others to do the same. When a woman understands her emotions, she becomes a beacon of light, guiding others to do the same. She leads by example, showing the world that emotional intelligence is not a weakness, but a superpower. She shows them that it is possible to be deeply in touch with your emotions and yet remain in control of your life. This is the true power of emotional mastery, the power to feel deeply without being swept away, to experience the full range of human emotions without losing your center. It is the ability to move through life with a deep sense of purpose, knowing that you are the creator of your emotional world. You can choose how to respond, how to act, and how to live in alignment with your highest self. So stand tall and embrace your emotions. Feel them fully, understand them deeply, and let them guide you to your truth. You are not your emotions, you are the one who experiences them. You are the one who chooses how to live with them. And when you master this, nothing can control you. You will be free to live authentically, with clarity, with purpose, and with the unshakable confidence that comes from understanding the most powerful force within you, your own emotions. In the end, a woman who understands her emotions is never controlled by them. She is not a victim of the feelings she experiences, but the one who actively leads them, transforming them into tools for personal growth and creating the life she desires. When she realizes that each emotion is simply a message, a lesson, she will no longer fear or run from them. She will feel them, live with them, but never let them control her actions. The power of a woman lies not in the ability to suppress her emotions, but in her ability to understand and master them. She will not let fleeting emotions like anger, anxiety, or sadness cloud her judgment, but will use them as motivation, as guides to walk more powerfully through life. Emotions are not weaknesses. They are the very tools that make her stronger, connect her more deeply to herself, and allow her to relate more authentically to the world around her. And when she masters her emotions, she becomes the woman nothing can stop. No matter what life throws at her, emotions will come and go, but she will always be the one who decides how to respond. She will live boldly, confidently, and will never allow emotions to dictate her life. And in that understanding, she finds freedom. Freedom to be herself. Freedom to live the life she is meant to live. Freedom to create a meaningful and fulfilled existence. The true power of a woman lies in her ability to understand and master her emotions. When she does this, nothing can stand in her way.